Alright, welcome to Geeks, Gadgets, and Gizmos. Today we're going to talk about the Mavic Pro 2 or the Mavic 2 Pro and the zoom. When the stats first came out about, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago, I was kind of upset because it has a 1-inch sensor. And I just bought the Phantom 4 Pro V2, has a 1-inch sensor. And I was thinking, why are they going to make the Mavic a 1-inch sensor? And the price, which is now $14.49 brand new. The Phantom 4 Pro is $14.99. It's $50 more. So what are you getting or not getting in the two items? And why get a Phantom 4 or a Phantom 5? I mean, I'm kind of curious if they're putting the Phantom series to death. The Phantom is the elite of the consumer market. For DJI, you have the high end is the Phantom 4 or the Phantom 4 Pro. Then you have the Mavic, which is like the mid-level, and then the Air and the Spark at the lower end. But now the Mavic is almost the same price, has a 1-inch sensor. It's pretty much everything the Phantom 5 has, except for a few things, which I'm curious why DJI left out. I watched a few of the drone guys on YouTube. Not one of them has mentioned some things that kind of bothers me about the Mavic. Particularly, it has electronic shutter rather than mechanical shutter. May not seem a whole lot to a lot of people, but mechanical shutter is much better than electronic shutter. They did amp up the Phantom 4 Pro is an 8-bit. The Mavic is a 10-bit, which helps with the electronic shutter. But you're still going to get some banding. You're still going to get a reduction in dynamic range, and you're going to get a rolling shutter. Excuse me. So I don't know if that's one of the key things that kept it from being in the Phantom series. So where's the Phantom going from here? What's the Phantom 5 going to bring? And what's the price point going to be? Because it's pretty expensive right now at $14.99. What did I say it was? $14.99. $1,500 is a lot of money for a toy. Although you could use it professionally, and a lot of people are, not so much maybe for filmmaking, but to have their drone licenses out. There's people out there doing all kinds of stuff, cell tower inspections and real estate and all that kind of stuff. That's great, but I'm curious if the Phantom is going to be moved to the enterprise or commercial low-end portion. I'm wondering if it's going to have detachable camera system, maybe. I'm hoping, but I hope the price point can remain low. I don't know what size micro four thirds lens is still pretty big for a Phantom. So I don't know if they did buy Hasselblad, so maybe they're going to have detachable, interchangeable lenses. Maybe it'll be a Pro camera 1-inch sensor or larger with a zoom capability. That would be sweet, but I don't think they're going to incorporate all that and keep it at a reasonable price. We're probably looking at the $2,000 range easy now, and you can buy an Aspire for like $3,500. So the Phantom could be moved into the low end market of the commercial or enterprise solution, but we'll have to see. But I mean, the Mavic 2 Pro, and the other thing which bothers me is they don't even have the Pro on the model. It doesn't even say Pro, it just says Mavic 2. I don't get that. Why not flaunt the Pro? But so the electronic shutter bothers me. Pound for pound, it pretty much does everything the Phantom does. There are some drawbacks. The video resolution aren't as many options as the Phantom 4, but it's pretty impressive. They don't have the what do they call it, the vision system. They now call it the, I apologize, I wish I could pull my screen up, but my screen software crapped out on me and I don't have time to figure out what's wrong with it. But I'm looking at the specs side by side, the Phantom 4 and the Mavic 2, the Pro and the Zoom. I'm not going to go into too much detail. You know what the differences are. If you're interested in the drones, you already know what the differences are. But there is limitations on the video resolution. All its bit rates is 100 megabit per second. Like I said, they did improve the D-Log to 10-bit. Still shy. It should be 12-bit at least for dynamic range. So you're gonna suffer dynamic range with the only a 10-bit D-Log, and like I said, you're gonna probably suffer banding and rolling shutter effect. What else? Well, for the most part, everything's pretty much similar. I mean, a few minor differences. Mavic 2 Pro also does support H.265 if that's important to you. But as an avid Phantom owner, I'm kind of not too happy with where the Phantom's gonna go in the P5 version, because I might be keeping this one. I had the P3, the P4, the P4 Pro, and now the Pro V2. I love the Phantom. I understand packing all this technology into a smaller frame that's foldable, more portable. But if you're going to make a Pro version of something, I don't know why they went with electronic shutter. But again, that might be one of those things they're going to keep it from the next step up, the Phantom, because they're now in the same price range. So it's going to be difficult to decide which way to go. Unless you want that zoom factor, then you already know where you're going with the Mavic, with the zoom one. But no one's talking about this. Everybody's talking about the Mavic. No one's talking about how it's going to possibly kill off the Phantom. Everybody's drooling all over the Mavic 2, and, you know, rightfully so for some things. But the Phantom has been their bread and butter for years, and my concern is it's gonna get killed by the Mavic. So I'm hoping a Phantom 5 comes out, but we'll see. But yeah, electronic shutter, I mean, everybody's talking about all the stats, everything. No one's talking about the electronic shutter. I don't get that. You got all these geeks on the drone channels, not one of them is mentioned, and I've watched like 6 of them. I mean, maybe one of them has that I haven't watched, but nobody's talking about it. I don't know why. Maybe it's not a big deal anymore, but there is a definite drawback to an electronic shutter to a mechanical shutter. But let me know what you think. Hope you liked this video. Hope it was interesting for you. And getting ready to go catch some lightning with my D850. So I'm going to cut this short, and I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Take it easy.